just got finished with a sort of meeting. I can't say what it is at all, it's a secret, but the meeting went okay, and it wasn't the best of me. It was definitely okay, and I was trying to be as real as possible. Sounding a bit arrogant, I said some stuff, but I didn't want to sound like that. But yeah, whatever. But the meeting went okay. It is done. It's going to be looked at, and there's only so much you can do, right? So I will try to just relax from now on. And now that is done, right? So that's totally fine. But back to what the title and the theme is, like, I recommend every single person who's watching this video to, when you have the opportunity, to look up at the stars. It's such a humbling thing, right? You realize how small you are. You realize just how big the universe is, right? Those lights in the sky, those are stars, right? There's millions of light years away. It's just like, it's sort of like this. I could look at that shit forever, right? And just think. But sort of, we're small. We are not that big. We're important. Every single person is important. But also, we are not that important, right? There's over 100,000 people who die every single day. I believe that's almost one every second. I don't know any names. I don't know what their name is. I don't know who they are, right? Picture that in their family's view. They know who that is, but the rest of the people don't know. So people die and the world continues, right? So that is exactly why you are so important, right? It goes back and forth. So the reason why we're so tiny, we're just a person or a people, like you're one person, that is also why you have the most power, the most special abilities to be good towards everybody, to transfer good things towards somebody, right? You can't give up on that, right? That is exactly why every single relationship you have, there's importance in being a nice and a good person, right? It's so important that you connect with someone, right? You can be a dog, having that connection with a dog, right? It's just like that everyday conversations you have with people, those are important, and sort of the impression you leave is important. People want to leave a legacy behind, which is nice, which is good in general, but the thing that matters is what you do right now. You can be a shitty person, do something good at the end, then die, or you can be good every single part of the journey, do something good, and die, right? Sort of like a sad ending, but that is the reality. We are all going to die. We all sort of have a timer or a countdown on our time of death, sort of. And or that is maybe a theory, conspiracy, or whatever. But you can see it, right? But in the future, we are going to die at some point. So you might as well be nice. But I'm also sort of agreeing with the point that we need bad men to keep bad people out of the door. Or we need bad men to keep bad people from coming through the door, right? We need bad people, or people who's willing to do things to keep worse people out of the door from coming in. I am a firm believer in that, which is why World War II happened, right? To defeat a evil an evil military power by killing other people, right? That is what I mean. You need bad people to, not just killing, right? Being able to defend, protect. You need to do things, right? But let's not go to extreme, right? But the ideal world would be to not be nice to everybody, but that isn't how the real world works. It's a bit of a realism sort of thing. There's a reasons why bad shit is happening everywhere, right? Because there's a lot of bad people, a lot of bad stuff, right? It's reality. But in general, like, right, in the civilization, in the society you're in, just be a nice person, right? So, yeah. I met a person at the shop today. We just talked, and she said I had luxury meal, that I was going to buy a luxury meal. And then I complimented her clothes, and she said she sewed it herself, right? So it's that sort of thing, right? Having a good conversation, good relationship with other people. I mean, we're not perfect. I'm not perfect. We all know nobody is perfect. And imperfection has perfection in it, right? So being not perfect is perfect. So you don't need, there's not a criteria for how exactly you need to be. There's an ideal, there's sort of ideology or some sort of thing that you can work towards being. As I've been talking about, being a more nice person, being a better kind of person. So there's that, right? So yeah, I had these thoughts, right? Looking up at the stars yesterday on my way home. I was walking from work towards the car park, and there's stars all above. And yeah, I just thought of, like, we're small, but we are important. That will be the title. We're small, but important. We all have such power. The power that you can make somebody's day is a pretty significant power. Just telling somebody, I'm really glad I have you as a friend, or if they're actually a good friend though, or just complimenting someone genuinely, not just to compliment someone, because, or you can, but the sort of being, there's a sort of an argument for being good if it's to sort of, if it's other sort of means than being nice, it sort of isn't sort of, yeah, there's a whole conversation about that. But not just if there's 10 people walking and you're complimenting every single one of them. 9 people, or I'm losing my shit, but the people that hear that will say, okay, I'm not, he just said that to be the blah blah blah, but that's not true initially. But yeah, throw it out, be nice, just make it genuine and make it nice, and it means a lot to people, because in this sort of generation, or these sort of times of years where we are actually a lot more sort of isolated because of social media and because of everything else, in physical things, just meeting somebody at the shop and just compliment them means the world to them, because it isn't happening often. Even if it's a man or a woman, it means the world to them. And the reason I'm saying this is it means the world to me, so it has to be, and it means the world to a lot of different people. But I know for sure that if someone complimented whatever to me, that would make my week, right? So you do good, or it's that golden rule, you act on how you want to be treated or something. No, the golden sort of rule, I know it in Norwegian, but the English I'm not sure. But act in that way you want to be treated, right? So if you wanna be treated in a good way, you have to treat other people good. And if you treat other people good, maybe you will be treated good as well. But let's say you have sort of a bad day, or something bad happens to you or whatever, and you really think that thing is shitty, that thing was not nice, why would you wish that upon anyone else, right? There is an argument for what type of persons, but I'm talking about in general, not evil people, because evil people are evil and they deserve a justice sort of, you know what I mean. But like, why would you wish, if you have a bad day, why would you wish a bad day for anyone else? And we're not perfect, as I said. So let's say you have a bad day and you're with someone, just make sure that they know it. Or if you're sort of a bit of giving that vibe out, just make sure that people know it, so it's not like an act or a rude act towards them. That would be an ideal thing to do. You don't necessarily have to do it, but it would be ideal, definitely. But so yeah, what I sort of mean is, don't be, if you have a bad day or if something bad happened to you, you're sort of, that is not fun, that is not good or whatever. So make sure that other people don't have that as well, right? It's sort of, there's there's arguments and questions for everything that I've just said. Good arguments and good questions as well, and sort of some things that can taken out, some things that can take out the context and stuff. But what I'm just trying to say is, work towards being a better person, man. That's like the main thing. I'm just trying to remember that title. We're small yet powerful. No, we're small but important. Yeah, I think that was it. But yeah, I'm going to, let me just check the time on my MacBook. 12. Okay, so I have to leave in 2 hours. I have to eat some more food. I forgot to buy the one thing I was thinking about doing. Oh my God. Okay, but in 2 hours I'm going to make some food, go to the bathroom, take a log, and then just get myself ready, maybe work on some school, and then go to work. Going to have to shift tires on the car tomorrow. That will be lovely. Going to work Thursday tomorrow as well as Friday and Sunday. Let's see, Saturday I'm not working. I'm going to go to the city and train then on Saturday. I think that would be amazing, because I love to train in the city and I don't have the time to do it in general. So yeah, work towards being a better person. That is sort of my, I'm not, I'm not perfect, but I'm also not the wisest and the most smartest guy. I am 20 years old, turning 21. I don't have all the answers. I don't have answers. I'm just trying to work things out, thinking, talking about it. Maybe I can get some comments or some questions about it, and that sort of helps me and sort of twists this a bit, sort of find or tunes my thinking a bit. That would be amazing. So yeah, I just talk it out and just try to do stuff. Hope you had a good day. Hope you will have a good day. I wish you the best. And as always, have a laugh, have a smile, and be kind. Work towards being a better person. That could be anything, right? Anything. Take care. Goodbye.